something completely unexpected happened just 10 days after Jimin was discharged from the military, and the entire K-pop world stopped to watch. No teaser, no single, no interview. But the name Park Jimin echoed through the arena, louder than any music that night. The crowd froze, then erupted. The thunder wasn't from the stage. It came from hearts pounding in unity. From fans who waited, who held on, who believed. June 21st, Inspire Arena, Incheon. The 34th Seoul Music Awards was supposed to be a celebration of music, but it became something else entirely, the coronation of a king. Jimin had returned, and just 10 days after stepping out of uniform as a sergeant in the South Korean military, he wasn't easing back into fame. He was taking it back. Completely, effortlessly, powerfully. That night, Jimin was honored with the Hallyu Special Award, one of the most meaningful recognitions for spreading Korean culture globally. But let's be clear, this wasn't a quiet welcome home gift. This award was earned. He won it through mobile voting. No judging panel, no industry politics. This was the voice of the fans, millions of them from every corner of the world, who carried his name through the silence. He didn't sing that night. He didn't dance. But he spoke in the loudest way possible through love, loyalty, and legacy. And it wasn't just one win. This marked 2 years in a row that Jimin claimed a major award at the Seoul Music Awards. Last year, it was a main award. This year, a special award with deep emotional value, not just for him, but for everyone who walked through this journey with him. And here's the miracle no one talks about enough. Jimin's second solo album, MUSE, was released while he was still serving. He couldn't perform it, he couldn't promote it, he couldn't even hear fans scream his name live, but MUSE soared anyway. Because it wasn't just music, it was a message, a letter, a beating heart in melody form. At the 2024 MAMA Awards, he took home Fans' Choice of the Year, becoming the first solo artist in history to do so. At the Asia Artist Awards, he won Best Musician, Solo. At the Asian Pop Music Awards 2024, he earned 3 titles: Album of the Year for MUSE, People's Choice Award, Best Dance Performance for the breathtaking title track, Who. And still, he wasn't done. At the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards, he was honored with K-Pop Song of the Year for Who, a title that crossed borders, genres, and expectations. These weren't just trophies. They were the result of a promise between artist and fan, between silence and song, that no matter how long the wait, no matter the distance, their hearts would always beat in rhythm. Jimin didn't just return to the spotlight. He walked out of the shadows carrying proof that you can be gone and still grow, that fame without noise can be louder than any stage. And just 11 days after military discharge, he topped the boy group individual brand reputation rankings. First place, again, for the 50th time. Let that sink in. 50 times, even during absence, his presence was unshakable. No live show, no media blitz, just a man whose impact never left the room, even when he wasn't in it. Jimin's return is not just a comeback. It's a story of love that never faded, of an artist who didn't need to prove himself, but still did. Silently, soulfully, completely. For every fan who waited through the silence, for every vote cast in his name, for every tear shed while playing MUSE on repeat, this award wasn't just his, it was ours. Jimin's story is still being written. But this chapter, this will be remembered forever, as the moment a soldier returned, not just as a man in uniform, but as the king of K-pop,